Alright, yo, what's going on, everybody? Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about Boruto episode 17 titled Run, Sarda. And so, this is a really weird episode. Nothing really important happened in it. Nothing, the plot hasn't progressed at all since last week. It was just a little self-contained story that was, I guess, it was there to explore Sarda's character, introduce who she is, the type of person she is, her relationship with Sakura, and all that sort of stuff. But, like I said, it was very strange. There were a whole lot of head-scratcher moments present in this episode. You know, I was left a little bit confused after a whole lot of scenes. Maybe it's because I'm not Japanese and I don't fully understand the culture, but there was this one part where at the beginning of the episode, Sarada called Boruto, Shikadai, Denki, and Inojin weird for riding on top of the train that passes through Konoha instead of just riding inside of it. And so then later on in the episode, she ends up having to go on top of said train, and the same group of kids, you know, Boruto, Shikadai, and all them, they nearly see her, and Sarada is mortified by this, and it's really weird. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal if you just explain that you needed to be on that train for a particular reason. I doubt they would care. But, you know, I mean, whatever, I guess it is what it is. So yeah, the episode was centered around, so Sakura is going on vacation. I guess Ino's taking her. Ino was in this episode, by the way, and dude, the size of her tits was really heavily exaggerated. I know for a fact her bust is not normally that big. It was almost distracting how enormous the art team for this episode decided to make it, but whatever, I guess that's not important. Anyway, so Ino's here, and she decides to take Sakura on vacation. Actually, no, wait. Before I proceed with that, there is another thing on the same token as Ino's boobs. Shizune has boobs in this episode, and see, with Ino, it's not really as much of an issue, I guess, because she just happens to have a bigger bust, but it's not shoved in your face. But with Shizune, the first time she walks into frame, all you can see of her is her tits, and they're just jiggling, and it's Shizune is flat-chested, and she has always been flat-chested. Why does she have boobs all of a sudden? That confused me. Not a serious concern with the episode, but just something I felt like I should point out. Anyway, so Ino's there in the village. I mean, of course, she lives there. I don't know. Anyway, so she wants to take Sakura on vacation, and so Sakura's going out of town, but she needs Sarada to take this stuffed animal down to this hospital where this one girl is staying because, she wants her teddy bear, I guess, to keep her company. Something along those lines. And Sarada's like, yeah, whatever. It's an easy job. Don't worry so much about it. You don't have to, I don't get why you're expecting me to fail with this. This is a super easy task, but, you know, of course, lo and behold, Sarada ends up leaving the teddy bear on the train she's traveling on in order to get to the hospital. And so the whole episode is essentially focused on her attempting to retrieve this teddy bear and, you know, bring it to the girl in the hospital before Sakura ends up returning home. I guess the part where Sakura actually does go on, well, quote-unquote vacation, it was a very short trip, but she goes to this place where she and Sasuke did when they first got together, and then, you know, just kind of leaves her there. You know, she's just like, hey, yeah, I know you better than you think I do, sweetheart. And so, you know, Sakura's like, oh my god, that's so nice of you, thanks. I just want to sit here and let all the memories sink in, or, you know, bask in the nostalgia or something like that. And then, you know, it's like, okay, cool, and then just leaves her, and I'm like, what? Okay, you're gonna take your friend on a trip and then just book it immediately. Gotcha, you know, that's cool. Again, though, while Sakura's away, Sarada is placed on teddy bear delivery duty, and she completely drops the ball. And because of it, so, she's like, oh crap, I gotta catch the train. What do I have to do? And, so at first she's like, well, okay, let me hop across the rooftops. And then she's like, wait, no, that would make me no better than Boruto. And I'm like, excuse me? You're a ninja. You can hop across rooftops. That's normal. People do it all the time, and I don't get what she's super weird and prissy and stuck up. As a matter of fact, Chocho actually says to her that she's so prim and proper and that she needs to relax on all that. She doesn't want to get seen riding on top of the train, and she doesn't want to hop on rooftops. It doesn't make any sense. She's a ninja. She doesn't have to whatever. I think you guys get what I'm talking about. So instead of doing a summary of the whole plot, I'll just say what ends up happening. Well, actually, before I do that, there's also another scene where I guess, the same group of boys from earlier, Boruto, Shikadai, Inojin, and Denki, they all agree that they want to teach Denki how to fish because he doesn't know how. He's never done it. And now, this isn't really important. I just wanted to bring it up because in it, Denki says that he's played fishing video games before, and I couldn't help but think of fucking Big the Cat from Sonic Adventure. I'm a little upset with you guys, Studio Peria, for, reminding me of that. I didn't need to remember that those levels were in that game. But that aside, so like I was saying earlier, Sarada and Chocho go to this, like, fortune teller, I guess, and they're like, oh wait, actually, I have to back up a bit. So before they went to the fortune teller, they went to the Lost and Found, and Sarada ended up finding, actually, I have to back up even more, shit. So what was carrying the teddy bear was like this little pink bag with like flowers or something on it. It's been a few hours since I've watched the episode, so I don't entirely remember. But so Chocho takes Sarada to the Lost and Found, and she's like, Chocho, you're so smart, you know so much, thanks. And I'm like, what? All she did was tell you how, like, because Chocho explains the function and purpose of a Lost and Found center, to which Sarada says, like I said, oh wow, Chocho, you're so helpful and smart, thank you. And I'm just like, everybody knows what these are, Sarada. I mean, it's even in the name, even if you've somehow never heard of a Lost and Found, whatever. So they find the bag there, right? But plot twists, it was actually a different bag holding a different stuffed animal, but the bag looked exactly the same and also happened to be left behind on the exact same train by somebody from a different village. And I'm just, it doesn't make sense, but whatever, sure, I'll go for it. Like, the whole episode did feel a little forced. The plot was a little bit contrived, not gonna lie. Like, Sarada could have just gone and gotten a new teddy bear. Well, no, never mind. The kid probably had some sort of sentimental attachment to this particular stuffed animal, so, I'll let that slide. But, like, everything, like, both of the bags look exactly the same and just so happened to be left behind on the same train. And so, because of that, Sarada's like, wait, don't you have another one? Because this isn't my stuffed animal. And the guy's like, well, actually, we did have another one, but it's been claimed already. And I'm like, well, then why didn't you say, okay, we have two of the exact same kinds of bags that were left on this train? It's really weird. Obviously, they don't contain the same object, so I'm gonna ask you to examine them for me and tell me which one belongs to you. That's what would have happened if this episode made sense, but instead he was just like, okay, yeah, here, one of them looks the same, so whatever, and that was that. But yeah, so they go to this fortune teller. Fuck, it took me a long time to get back to this point. I guess I did end up doing a plot summary after all. Anyway, so they go to this fortune teller and they're like, what is this? Because, like, they want to trace the new stuffed animal that they got back to its original owner in order to find the person who may have mistakenly picked up the stuffed animal Sarada was supposed to deliver. And while they're there, the fortune teller lady's like, no, I'm just not gonna tell you for some reason. And then Chocho pulls out this super secret rare limited edition bag of chips and is like, I'll give you these. And I guess the fortune teller lady really likes those particular chips. They were like last of their kind, I guess, like no longer in production or something. Chocho found them buried at the bottom of a burnt down warehouse. Yeah, she probably goes to great lengths to get her potato chips anyway, so, like, she shows them to the fortune teller lady. The fortune teller lady's like, okay, yeah, sure, here, that probably belongs to a lady from the village hidden in the waterfalls, which is, like, right up north of the Hidden Leaf, and they perform this ritual every so often where they, like, sacrifice voodoo dolls to commemorate, like, the dead or ancestors or something. Again, I haven't watched the episode in a while, and I didn't really pay that much attention to it because it was very strange and didn't really interest me that much. But so they go because Sarada realizes, oh no, this stuffed animal is going to be sent down the river. That's not very good at all. And so they get there, they exchange the teddy bear with the voodoo doll. They're like, oh hey, old lady, I think you accidentally got my bag. And she's like, oh yeah, you're right, this is the real one, I'm sorry. Sarada walks on water because that's what everybody was trying to learn how to do at the beginning of the episode. She barely manages to do it though. She picks up the teddy bear as it's floating down the river because they got there, like, just barely in the nick of time to save it. And then she throws it to Chocho because, lo and behold, Boruto and his group of friends are there teaching Denki how to fish. And I guess she doesn't want to be seen by them or something. And then, she, she notices that they're there. and she's like, oh no, I'm so embarrassed or distracted or something. It throws her off balance. She falls into the water because she can't stand on it anymore, and then bada bing, bada boom. Now this is really weird to me because it's like they were just tested on their ability to walk up a wall using their chakra by concentrating it in their souls, so I don't really, like, why is walking on water that much more difficult? Didn't they learn to do that around the exact same time in part 1? But whatever. So Sarada falls in, and I knew that this was gonna happen as soon as I saw Denki throw the line of the fishing pole in. He's like, oh, I'm gonna catch the biggest fish in the river, and then out pops Sarada, and then everybody's like super confused, and Sarada's just like, this is the weirdest scene in the whole episode by far. She's just like, I was taking a swim because it was hot, with this like super serious look on her face, and she just like got it, and everybody is understandably freaked out because of the way she says it. And that's pretty much the episode. Sakura comes back, Sarada's like making dinner for her, and then she's just like, oh, by the way, did you get that teddy bear delivered? And Sarada's like, yep, it was pretty easy. Also, speaking of Sakura and Sarada's interactions, one thing that happened in the midpoint of the episode is Sakura, before she left on her trip, was like, hey, by the way, do you want me to get you anything while I'm out? And Sarada's just like, a dad? Like, I'm not even joking. She actually says that, and Sakura's like, can you not? You know, understandably. So that's the episode. It was a little bit strange. There were a few art and animation quirks here or there. I guess I'd give it like a 2.5 or a 3 out of 5. It was like okay. It didn't feel like a complete waste of time, but it wasn't good or great or anything. It was just like more typical Boruto antics. Didn't contribute to much, but didn't feel offensive. It just felt like really forced. Like they were really trying to create a conflict, and they couldn't think of one for an episode that they needed to have there for filler. I guess, yeah, like last week's episode, this one is actually just complete filler. It's just there to focus on Sarada, to build her as a character, which, see, I don't see the point. Like, why would you spend an episode establishing Denki and Iwabe if, like, 1 week after that, you're gonna start this arc that just focuses entirely on Sarada? I don't understand, but yeah, whatever. So, coming up, we have all of the Naruto Gaiden stuff with, like, Sarada trying to figure out who her mom is and Shin. I've talked about this in my previous reviews, so I'm far more excited for that than I was for this episode. I wasn't really looking forward to this one, and I am actually looking forward to the story picking back up next week. Hopefully we get some good stuff. Oh my god, this review turned out to be way longer than I expected it to. I didn't think I'd be able to talk for like 10 to 15 minutes about this very strange teddy bear delivery episode, but I guess I did. So yeah, this is probably where I'm gonna cut the video off to keep it from getting too terribly long. But as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you have any questions, ask me, and I'll do my best to respond. I know I'm very bad about actually doing that, but I will try my best. Also, for those of you who are interested and who watched my last video about making my own manga, the Patreon for that manga is up. So, well, actually, more accurately, I just turned the old Patreon into a Patreon for the manga. But if you would like to support it, you know, maybe go check out the Patreon. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then watch Sunday's video for me, please. You don't have to watch the video. I would just appreciate it personally. The manga means a lot to me. And also don't feel pressured to like pledge to the Patreon. Some of you guys were just, you wanted to know about it, so I was just letting you guys know. Not here to try and sales pitch anybody. Anyways, till my next video, I'll talk to you later. Swagkage out. Bye.